Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Today I'm going to do a demo. I don't know how long it'll be because there's lots and lots and lots of things to say about all this. Of my pedalboard, and it's pretty unique in terms of lovely functions. It has MIDI control. Well, it's got these MIDI beasts that are, God's gift to MIDI controllers. It runs MIDI clock, it's got song modes due to them, it MIDI controls the Chase Bliss Brothers, it MIDI controls the Empress Tremolo 2, I've got AHX Mark, 8-step. It uses MIDI clock for the timeline. These sub-decay jobbers have been modded to also run from MIDI clock. It's got lots of loopy things in, and it's all very nice. So yeah, I shall explain things and how they work. Right, so what am I doing with this? This always runs into my lovely diesel Herbert over here, and today, due to the joys of I need to sync this up, I suppose. So I'm gonna do a good old clapperboardy shizzle, because I'm gonna give you some proper real audio rather than my shit phone. Right, so yeah, that's the diesel. That's MIDI controlled. Channel switching is not MIDI controlled knobs and settings, but yeah, it's channel switches MIDI controlled, and that's lovely. So that's controlled by all this, and we also have the old mucker, the old Marshall EL3400, which what I'm doing is I'm taking, when it gets to the timeline, I'm taking stereo out from the timeline into the Big Sky reverb there, and then just taking the second out from that over to this. So I'm running in stereo through, I'm using the orange cab at the moment that one of my friends has left here. Today's guitar is my lovely, rather customised and jazzed up, that's another fucking video in itself, all of the lovely things I've done to this. But yeah, Parker Nightfly, lovely strattiness, carbon wrap neck, bolt-on jobber, hardened stainless fret, bare knuckles, got an L-bomb, a supermassive P90, and a mother's milk single coil, and loveliness. And it also does PTO. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I'm talking about this lovely beastie down here. Oh fuck. Oh my zooming, zoomy zoom. There we go. Let's pop that back in there. Right, so let's begin with what's on the board, Mr. Pippin. Fucking bloody cunt. Slide this up. Aha. You? Yay! Right, so what it does, well, you can't see the sides of the board. Soldier. Right. So, T's RMC3, wire straight into there, lovely. Then goes from there into the Chase Bliss Brothers, which is always in the loop, but it's true bypass when it's off. That's got a whole world of lovely things for that. I may do some, I may actually split some of the little specific functions and things I've learnt, because there's a few things with that where I was like, this isn't working properly, but it actually was. But yes, that's another story in itself. Then it goes to the PX8, which is a MIDI controlled loop switcher, so I can instant access any of these, or if I choose a specific patch on here, I can make the patch switch the loops on, and then comes out of there, goes through the little breakout box over here in the back left corner, goes to me, my diesel Herbert, goes to the preamp, comes back through the little breakout box, then comes across to underneath over here, underneath there, let's now I've got this bloody thing in the holder. I'm going to take it out again. I have to go through all that joy all over again. Under here, that's an RJM Mini FX gizmo hidden under there. Above it, that's an Empress MIDI box, which converts regular MIDI into the kind of MIDI ports this Empress Tremolo 2 takes, and the Chase Bliss Brothers. Anyway, it comes back, goes through that 5-way looper, comes out of there, goes into the timeline and the Big Sky, which it always goes through them because they've got pretty good analog drive through, and obviously they're MIDI controllable. So to turn them on and off, I could just turn the wet and dry up on the specific patch that I recall. So what can we do with this? Well, what have we got first? So, as I say, Teaser MC3 Brothers, Chase Bliss Brothers. We've then got a Fuzz Factory clone. I used to have a fuzz probe. I still do have a proper Zevex fuzz probe, but I wasn't really using the probey bit, so I took it off. Got a clone kit because I didn't want to sell it, but I didn't want to spend about 250, 300 quid or whatever for another one. So, bit of Fuzz Factory. That's the Fuzz Factory. Then I've got Dr. Freakenstein, which, the Freakenstein. Ooh, look under here. Oh, my fucking pedalboard tape's falling off. My power supply is falling down. So, that's the Dr. Freakenstein here, and I've got Igor, its little friend, on the top of my my expression pedal here, so I can. That's fun. Oh, let's have a bit with delay. Then the Super Ego from Ledger Harmonics. That's quite a lot of fun. You can do all sorts of fun things with that. There's an auto mode. Anyway, so then I have my lovely Sub-Decay Starlight DLX flanger. So this is a lovely contraption. So this here, this has got tap tempo. But I've modded it, taken this out to here. I'll go into some other day. And I actually could do with doing this mod. This mod works perfectly fine, but it could be a bit dangerous in terms of statically blowing up its innards. So I'm going to improve that. But this is the same mod on the Sub-Decay, all the DS3 DLXs that I've got here. I've taken that out to the tap tempo of. Well, let's talk about this over here. This little chap down here. This is the Disaster Era Design Smart Clock. Now, this sends out MIDI clock and runs my my delay. But that's also got these tap jacks on the side of it, which then do things with external tap tempo inputs. Well, because I've effectively made external tap tempo things on here, that means my Starlight will be perfectly in time, which this does all different wave shapes. It does envelope flanging and all sorts of shizzle like that. But one of the fun things it does is step flanging. So if you do this, when I use the tap tempo, it's now perfectly in time, the steps with the delay. Hooray! Which is a nightmare to try and do if you're tapping them separately. Let's add a little bit of dirt to that. What are we doing? Let's have a bit of that. And every time, obviously, I recall a patch. Most of the time, is recalling nothing on the Brothers because I'm using amp distortion. But I can just turn it on manually like that. Good old plain. Anyway, let's not get too carried away with the flanger. I have my mushroom cloud, Thorby mushroom cloud, hidden away under the shelf. Whee! Keep it all shiny under there. So this, stuff that on top of clean. Or you can add it on top of a bit of quite. You always give it a bit of goosing with the Brothers. Fuzz fracked into a muff into the slightly quenched up drive of the diesel. Filthy. Anyway, delay. This is my homemade beast. Is it not working today? Yeah. What the fuck's going on with this then? There's a lovely the power supply. I've done a fun thing. I've done a fun thing with that. Wow, fuck's it. Ooh. Oh, there is some there. What the fuck's going on with this? Well, my feedback's not very much, is it? That's it. But yeah, one of the fun joys of this. That does some fun shizzle with that. And then a bit of the ring mod. Ooh, the lovely ring mod. Let's have a look over here. And this appears to be me just going through demo on pedals. But yeah, I'll get some of the more techie, joyous things in a bit. This here is a tracking ring mod. So what you can do, you can turn off tracking, and then you just get your classic. You can obviously tune your. Put it on there. It changes what you carry. You can detune it with this. Or we put entropy on. This does fuck all, and it just. Turn that up full. However that Incubus song goes, I don't know. But yeah, the joyous thing about this is not only does it do your ring mod, which is kind of limited, you can then stick it on tracking. And now, track the note and play in unison with it. So let's mix a bit of the original back in. One of the great things, when you hit the front edge of a note, sometimes the tracking, it jumps because it doesn't track perfectly, which sounds cool as fuck. And what else we got? Yeah, so you can do tracking up, track. That lovely warbly thing where it dies off. And you make it track with entropy off, so it just stays slightly off tune. Oh, it's fucking hot in here today. I'm sweating like a pedo in a playground. Christ. Right, what else we got? A bit of filter. Whee! So this is the Prometheus DLX over here. So this is actually one of the special envelope modes, which that's the tempo based one. You can hear it goes fast as you hit the note. But this does all manner of joy. Such you can have your classic. Let's do, yeah. And to band pass like a wah. You have low pass. And one of the fun things you can do with this is a lovely low sweep. You have something like a sawtooth. Let's not fuck around with these too much. That's the filter bit. Then what have we got? I'll just quickly show you a feature of these. These are the MIDI controllers. This is basically an extender for that one because you can only buy them in 2x4 or they end up with an extra row and they don't fit, so you can just string them together and you get more buttons. So this does this does many things. I'll come back to this because there's too many things. I'll go off on too much of a tangent. But yeah, if I change pages, those are all my patch buttons and my songs. Here, these are my IA slots for the switcher under there. Whee! I've just realised I'm pointing at things that you can't see. Oh, I've turned my pitchfork off when opening the lid. So lovely pitchfork. So what this is doing is, what I can do is, well, let's just hit, if I hit this pog button, what that's done is it's now, the 8-step is connected to the expression controller of that. So now what it's done is by pogging, pressing the pog button, what it does is it just stops it playing, sets it to loop 1, sets it to slider 1, I mean, over here, and set, so there, and I can blend in how much of whatever I want. So similarly I've got a whammy, so I'm now controlling slider 1 of that with the whammy pedal instead, which obviously if it's 100% wet, it's your classic whammy. But the joy of using the 8-step is I can choose any kind of pattern with this and pre-program and save them. I can also record patterns with MIDI, and when I press play, oh, it's a guitar arpeggiator. And obviously I've got adjustable mix when change the number of steps, and I'll point it that way a bit more. Oh, this bloody phone stand, it's a pain in the fucking ass. Oh, whoop. Oh, have I just broken it? Oh, you fucking cunt. Bollocks. Well, there goes the end of the video. I think that'll do. Although you might get to see me make a video of me dropping my phone onto my pedals, smashing them all. Right, so obviously that's synced to MIDI clock. Hooray! So if I now put on a bit of delay, Now the delay is perfectly in sync with the arpeggiator. So, yeah, obviously that gives you a whole world of spacey noises. You can hear rattling, that's my belt. I might actually do that. I was kind of about to go to the shower, and then I suddenly went off on a massive tangent, making a massive pedalboard video. Ways are. Again, that's syncable, and then we've got tremolo. Now this, because that's in a loop, I've got it so that when it starts up, it starts in preset mode, and delay to make it more obvious what I'm doing. So you can hear you've got rhythmical delay, tremolos, whatever they're called. You can select them and just go in and out of it with this. That's synced to MIDI clock. So if I tap tempo it, obviously, one of the other things I could do with it is over here, this joyous brain of MIDI that's the centerpiece of all this whole thing, which will do anything. One of the things it will do is if I hit that, it unsynchronizes. I can actually control tremolo speed with this. It turns off the MIDI clock, listen. Or if I hit that, go back to the MIDI clock speed. And then I'll show you some lovely pairings with this in a minute. But yeah, if I take the chorus, that's a chorus over the back. One of the original early ones. And this as well, obviously this is my expression pedal as you've seen before, but it's also a volume pedal. So, obviously at the time this isn't assigned to anything. So I put it in a volume loop. I've got a volume. Whee! Now, what fun things can we do with this? Now, what happens? Obviously if you take a nice delay. And then if we throw in some nice step thing. this on a nice. So there's a nice bit of. If you put a bit of tremolo on, put it to a really chop one. And when I've got the super ego here, I can. Now if we add the filter, so you can hear the joys of stuffing the tremolo on in sync with the arpeggiator. So that's a whole world of crazy spacey noises I can pull off with all of that. Where do we get to? Well, I've explained all the pedals, I've showed you a couple of pairings. Let's talk a bit about these MIDI controllers. One of the joys with this, let's call this shit over it, Stones and General Funk. One of the, I haven't actually said about the timeline of the Big Sky. Well, you kind of know what the timeline of the Big Sky do. There's plenty of videos on the timeline of the Big Sky. But yeah, nice delay. I mean, you've heard it's that delay and reverb scattered in with many things. But anyway, so this is all controlled, all of the switching is controlled by these lovely liquid foot MIDI controllers. Whee! Get my guitar out of the fucking way. Right, one of the joys of these is you can extend them, as I vaguely mentioned earlier, I think. Then you can assign any of these buttons how you like to do anything. So you can have instant access slots which do a specific thing, turn it on and off effectively, or you can effectively have a patch button. And so I've set mine up, so this is a page button which you could change your page layouts effectively. This is an instant access button. These three are instant access buttons. And so the instant access are the IA slots. These will be a specific thing. So for example, on this particular thing here, this happens to be this base station lock, this Big Sky lock, I mean, that's in IA slot 50 because I've made this button be IA slot 50, this be 51, 52 and 53. And but if I can change these, when I change patch, I can recall what's called an IA map. An IA map is this layout of all the buttons, so I can effectively swap them around. So here you can see, if I say go to this crunch, oh, that's actually the same IA map. Ah, but there you can see here, that's changed the timeline lock. So I've got a different IA map for these. So what you can do is when I change button, I can change what all these instant access things are depending on what patch I'm using, which is obviously incredibly handy. So when I'm using this Baswonk thing, I've got instant access to my tremolo, which is actually here, and my pitch, because I'm gonna need them, and timeline lock and all the rest of it. So that's the general layout. These are, I tend to, for my own ease of use live, I always have heavy clean crunch and heavy clean and crunch with delay. So if I'm in the wrong song, wrong bank, whatever, I've always got that core set of sounds there, my key sounds. Then these three here, I change on a per song basis. So here I can go up and down songs. You can program set lists. So if I go into here, when I go up and down songs, that just arms them. And then as soon as I hit something, one of the things you'll notice is these will also, you can set it up so that when you start a song, it will send out whatever commands just on the song change. So you'll notice if I change song, it recalls a specific speed. Then that's my default speed for here, Death by 1,000 Cuts, as 120 BPM. So if I then tap, so once I've done that, I can then change around all my things in the song. If for any reason I tap it because I was band's playing a bit faster or slower, and let's just say 114, changing these will never again change that. It will leave that alone and not bugger up my newly set tempo. But it means when I go to a specific song, it defaults to basically the right delay speed, this speed, that speed, whatever things are running off the smart clock's tempo. And then obviously if I change to a different song, then bam, there's the default speed for this. So the sending song commands is a very useful thing. So that's my general layout, and these just go up and down songs, which you can program them into whatever set list you like. And so you could just load up whatever set list for the gig you're playing, and then all you need to do is just tab up, next song, go up, got your next song, lovely, easy as pie. Now the other things you can do with this is I've got you change pages as I mentioned. So if I hit this page one, this changes to what I call my IA page, which these are the 5 IA slots for the magical box, the RJM mini effects gizmo under there, which is all the effects that are in the effects loop of my Diesel Herbert. Apart from the timeline, and that's always in timeline and Big Sky. So I can instant access obviously my tremolo, chorus and all the rest of it as you saw earlier. These are also instant access slots. So these give me some other different functions here. So one thing I could do is timeline division, where if I turn that on, now I can so that's it must be 8th note, is it 8th note? And then triplets. I think that's how it works. I can't remember. That's quite new. I've only programmed that recently. And as I showed you earlier, you could change the tremolo speed. You can also do momentary things because of these buttons, the IA ones. You can say I want. So those do those. Then I have a looper page which access from my IA page. So this here will do all the looper functions of the timeline. So. shit at playing with loopers. I should really practice with them more. Anyway, oh, and all the other thing. There's a new button. God, I made this. Got a loop mix, so now I can control the. So yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I programmed that the other day. Forgot to program that. So yeah, then I can hit this patch of the. Well, I'm also in the looper mode. I also have got instant access to my usual 6 patches. So yeah, I was kind of saying about that principle earlier. So yeah. It's looper, then pages. As soon as I hit that, it takes me back to my main soggy one. I've also have in here an 8-step one. So here I can assign the 8-step, like the glide, stuff like that. I can change the direction. I can change whether it's loop mode, what the other tap division is. To be honest, I never really use that page, but it's there. But that's the joy of these things. You can just program yourself up a, and also, yeah, I can go in and out of steps, so I can change it so that. Oh, I haven't got the stick the pigeon. So if I'm in, what am I doing? If I'm in, so you can do, I've got 6 steps there. So yeah, all sorts of things you could do. So that's yeah, I think I've done that to death, the pagey bits. Oh, and I've got a set list page here where there I can change up and down my set lists. I can also do another thing with where's it gone? Oh, that's it, this one here. That sends the brothers a signal just to the brothers on that MIDI channel, because if for any reason this loses its MIDI channel, you've got to hold those when you power it up. And then the first channel it sees a message come in on is the one it signs itself to. So just to be safe, in case for any reason this forgets its MIDI channel, or I need to reprogram it, I've got a button that sends just that. Yeah, that's where I go up and down my set lists, which you can pre-program into it. So what other fun things can you do with this? One of the things you could do with this, let's go for a, I have this delay toggle button. Now obviously you can turn delay on and off, but what this does is it actually ramps up the delay time over a short time. So if I'm kind of playing something, and it gradually comes up till it's on. One of the fun things you can do with this. Oh, I haven't got it on that patch. That's why. When this sets it up to turns the delay up. The other fun thing it does is it actually assigns this. CZ pedal to control the speed of that, which obviously that timeline is being ran off MIDI clock. But the fun thing is, if you change the speed, it will then jump back to the MIDI clock and it will give you lovely Doppler effect. Lovely fun. What other joyous things does it do? Oh, the other thing as well you could do is the good old timeline, the old Big Sky. I mean, that's got the hold the button and it sustains the note. Those functions, including, or same as with the timeline hold, instead of making momentary buttons, I could do toggle buttons. So if I do. it will now keep that locked. And I don't have to keep my foot held on it. Whee! Similarly, you can do the old. The other joys of things I could. Here are these here are step commands. Now one of the joyous things with step commands at the moment is assigned to fuck all. And then I could tap that, and that's now my big sky. So I can turn up and down my delay mix on the fly. So let's stick some timeline in. And that's about what it does. It does those things. Oh, the other thing as well I didn't mention is the let's take let's a bit badger. If we take, say, this. If you stick the you've got that on. Whenever I change patch, I've got set up in the IMAP to turn that off, so I can. So you can happily do like. That's largely it. That's my pedal board. That's how it works. Oh, I haven't actually. Let's do some technical bits. Lovely case here. This case I was built by custompedalboards.co.uk. I worked out exactly what bits I had and where they were all going to go based on old stuff I had, and fuck me, I've managed to shoehorn so much more stuff into this. So they built the case and this lovely shelf. I built this little platform bit, and all these bits I've hacked around with these, so some of these bits are mine, so anything that looks a bit shoddy I probably made, and the rest of the case they made, like this thing with all the big fucking holes in, that's my doing. That fluffy bit that lifts these. So yeah, what have we got? Whole thing's all powered by the gig rig. Let's do a bit of MIDI. MIDI comes out here. It goes through. Where does it go through? It goes through. Oh, I can't remember. It goes through either the smart clock first or the PX8 first. Goes to this MIDI splitter. That then runs out to the end. Oh, on the end. Ooh, this is another mod I did. They obviously, for safety reasons, they don't want to get involved in all of the safety issues of installing main stuff. So I sawed a hole in the end, like Custom Pedalboards made it, but I cut this hole in the end and put in a mains plug, which leads into this little box here, which that then splits out to power this gig rig generator here. There's another gig rig generator under this shelf here. This thing's so fucking round, it's ridiculous. It's under there. That's powering, because these take quite a bit of juice, these MIDI controllers. These are running off a separate supply. The other thing I might do is buy another distributor and actually split out some other different stuff. See if I can reduce the tone. It's not very hummy, but yeah, I'm not. I don't like noise gates. Noise gates. Bollocks to that. So yeah, that then runs out to over to the RJM Mini Effects Gizmo, which is all under there. This is fucking mental, this thing. There's a stack of 3 layers in here of all of that shit, and that all runs around here. So underneath this here, there's a gig rig. There's 2 Time Lords to power them. There's a distributor. There's a what do you fucking call it? Isolator. There's another isolator, gig rig isolator here. There's another 3 gig rig isolators there, and yeah, it's a veritable crazy man's folly, really, but it does do pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that's it. Everything from the subtle to the crazy synth to the envelope flanged step beast, fuck knows what, with everything synchronized together through the joys of MIDI clock and modifying some pedals and stuff. Let's just leave it at that. Stuff. I actually need to put my labels on. I'm going to paint that and jazz it up. But yeah, there's another Time Lord over there to power the RJ Mini Effects Gizmo. Yes. So yeah, got any questions how any of it works? And I may expand at some other point with more details on how I program the liquid feet, and some other odds and sods about the Chase Bliss thing, or the power supply, or other fun things like that. So there you go. Toodaloo.